Grant, tonight we've got two teams who aren't afraid to slow the pace of the game.
Well, B.A., it's because they're both adept at operating their half-court sets. They don't feel the need to push the tempo all the time.
Now let's check out the starters for Brooklyn. Cam Thomas out there with DeAnthony Melton. Then it's Nicholas Claxton. And it's Williams. And it's Clowney in at the 4.
Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from that.
Here's Ball. Following the bucket by Brooklyn. Outside White. Gets the 3 to fall.
And I like how White shot it with confidence. He's reliable beyond the arc.
And there's the screen. And here's Thomas from the arc. That no good.
Yeah, and the defense really respects his shooting ability, and they showed it with that tight coverage.
Ball against Williams. Picked by Vucevic. There's Ball with a 3. Brooklyn pulls it in. Well, the last time the Bulls won a playoff series was back in 2015, Grant.
That was back when Butler and Rose were their leading scorers. And that just shows you just how long it's been. But they've been stuck in mediocrity ever since. And right now, they are desperate for a breakthrough season.
Now here's Ball. And Ball throws it down.
You're taller than you think. Lonzo is a sneaky 6'6".
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Clowney can't get it to go. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Pass to Claxton. From deep, Melton. Can't get a second shot to fall. Now 1 of 2. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Down low. Here's Vucevic. And he floats it in for the easy 2. Credit the sweet setup on that one.
Getting points inside is no problem for Vucevic. He consistently finds these openings.
Brooklyn, no good that time either.
We all know he's a good shooter, but from that distance, I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up the way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Here's Buzelis. Misses the 3. Thomas with the ball. Guarded now by Ball. Thomas against Ball. Lets the 3 fly. Thomas, that's good.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Melton against Ball. Pass to Vucevic. Picked by Vucevic. Three-pointer, Buzelis. That's in there. Vucevic with the assist.
I think it's great to see that kind of confidence in a young guy like Buzelis.
Such a skilled big. 6'10" Nikola Vucevic. He can beat you up in the post, or he can step back and hit a 3-stand.
Yeah, Brian, and he's an excellent passer as well. Throughout his career, Vucevic's teams have been very good offensively, and his versatility is a big reason for that.
Now here's Ball. There's a screen. Pass to White. Just 5 on the clock. From outside the arc. Ball no good. The Nets have gone 3 of 8 so far. Here's Clowney. Counted from distance. Oh, another lead change. 6 total in the first half.
And this is the battle we were hoping to see.
Ball surveys the floor. And Ball throws it down.
What? Wait. Hey, dunks are always for the big boys.
Emphatic move by the point guard.
Well, in this league, you can see powerful plays from anyone and anywhere. Your position no longer dictates your scoring options.
And Brooklyn with possession here. Chicago making their last shot. Grant, they could attempt a 2 for 1 here.
They could. The key here is a good look.
To the paint. Here's Buzelis. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Okay now, Rook. Buzelis showing he can finish with some power.
Thomas against ball. Pass to Clowney. The 3 is up. Rebound by the Bulls. And there's a whistle. That goes on DeAnthony Melton. That's his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
We've got 13 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Ball outside. It could go. Whoa! He just got it off in time.
That was close. Now he does.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. It's the Bulls up by 5. Let's take a quick break, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Bulls.
Well, the way they've been attacking inside is phenomenal. Consistently getting high percentage looks, and that's what great offenses are all about.
And following off of what you said, they've really done a good job distributing the ball, passing up good shots for great ones.
They've got Jalen Smith. Williams is out there with Zach Collins. Then it's Josh Giddey, and it's Herter in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls.
Well, that's a shot the defense felt like they could live with, and it worked out for them that time.
It's stolen by Johnson. Johnson on the wing. Three-pointer. Offensive rebound. Russell deciding where to go with it. Pass to Johnson. Puts up a 3. Chicago with a rebound. Just over a minute has passed here in the second quarter. Outside Giddey. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. You know, Grant, with the Nets, there was so much optimism just a few years back.
And it was just too bad to see things go south. It's a reminder that nothing is as easy as it seems in the NBA. Even with a superstar roster, things don't always work out.
Well, you love the unselfishness, makes the next pass, and enables his team to capitalize on the possession.
Chicago leading by 10. From deep, Giddey. Rebounded by Johnson. And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. In the second quarter, held scoreless from the arc. And again, it's the Nets missing. Chicago has gone 1 for 3 from downtown here in the second. Williams misses. Nets trail by 10. Outside Russell. Gets the 3 ball to go. Russell's gotten himself on the board with a 3 there.
A volume three-point shooter. The coaching staff encourages Russell to fire away.
Smith with a screen on Russell. Lets it fly. The Bulls with another miss.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Here in quarter 2, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Nails it from beyond the arc.
Possessing a shoot-first mindset, in terms of scoring, Russell's arsenal, impressive.
Giddey passes to Herter. Three-pointer. Smith right side. It's stolen by Johnson.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
There's the 3. Here's Sharp. Williams grabs the board. Bulls leading by 4. From deep, Giddey gets it to go. Makes him 2 for 5. And Grant, we know the importance of the veteran leaders on a team, but not every vet wants to accept a mentorship role.
Very true, B.A. In your later years, that role becomes a blend of playing and kind of coaching. Not everyone is cut out for that.
The Bulls have gotten 5 of 8 attempts to drop since the second began. Williams from long range. That one falls. Nice feed that time from Giddey. Williams has got 6 points in the quarter. Nets trail by 10. From deep, Johnson sinks that one after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
And there's a pick. For 3, Collins. Rebounded by the Nets. Pass to Johnson. Right side Sharp. Here's Whitehead. Williams defending. Clock at 6. Here's Whitehead. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. Now just a 5-point Bulls lead.
Well, it doesn't get any easier than this. They'll take these shots every time.
Herder, a screen on Russell. Giddey. Rebounded by Johnson.
That was a good look from the mid-range. He'd like to have that one back.
Launches a 3. Smith with the rebound. Smith's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Collins. It's tipped, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession.
Substitution on the court.
Thomas with a steal, and we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Chicago ahead, leading by 5. And we'll be right back after halftime to get the third quarter underway. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Boy, it's been quite a game for Lonzo Ball.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
So on the floor for Brooklyn, they've got Williams, DeAnthony Melton out there with Cameron Thomas. Then it's Nicholas Claxton, and it's Clowney in at the 4-man position.
First team foul.
On defense, the Bulls. They've led by as much as 10. And here's Thomas from the arc. Buzelis grabs the board.
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
Nets trail by 5. And you look at Matas Buzelis. Size, touch, feel for the game too, Grant.
Oh, B.A., he's a connector. We all love seeing those offenses where the ball doesn't stick. He's a guy who'll keep things moving.
And here's Thomas from the arc. Chicago grabs the miss. Vucevic has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Thomas against Ball. White with a screen on Thomas. Here's Ball, plenty of space. Oh, he finds himself wide open and drills it. Ball's got 8. Puts up a deep 3. Sinks it. What range from downtown.
Oh, so staggering display of range here. I mean, that took some serious confidence.
Here's Ball. Rebound Brooklyn. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Nikola Vucevic has seen a lot in his decade plus in the league, and he said the game has changed. Now you have centers that can pass, put the ball on the floor, make plays, and shoot threes, play like guards. And you can't get stuck in time. You have to be able to adjust.
Allie, he's certainly got the skill level. White for 3. Clowney pulls it in. Brooklyn trailing. For the lead. And it's cleared by Vucevic. Vucevic has got 6 rebounds in the game. 3-pointer, Buzelis. Yes, sir. And it's Ball with the assist that time. Ball's got 3 assists now in this one. Thomas against Ball. Now here's Thomas. He's covered closely. Screen by Claxton. Here's Clowney. No good on the triple. Chicago leading by 4. Pass Pass to White. Here's Buzelis. There's a screen. From deep. That shot, no good.
Just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
All right, Grant, when you look at the Nets rebuild, what are you seeing at this point?
Well, they gave up a lot of young players and draft picks to assemble a big three. And, of course, that didn't quite work out. So now they're in that middle ground, which sometimes can be a little tough. Add to the fact that they're in New York, the fans and media are anything but patient and forgiving. Incredible. I mean, high energy in transition. Just beating the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
Chalk up 2 there. Thomas has got 8 points.
Yeah, so skilled offensively. Getting the ball in his hands is generally a good idea.
Vucevic, the pass to Ball. Vucevic, a screen on Melton. The 3 from Ball. Claxton with a rebound. Nets trail by 4. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
Thomas passes to Claxton. Williams on the wing. 6 to shoot. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Stan, it's hard to believe, but the Bulls have not won a playoff series since 2015.
Well, look, Brian, it's hard to win in this league. And when you're rebuilding, trying to find the mix that'll get you over the top is a difficult chore.
Long way from those Michael Jordan glory days. So Chicago ends up going with a new group. Giddey passes to Herter. Back to Giddey. Fires the 3. Buries it from 3. Give him 8.
That's inexcusable defense right there. You gotta contest the shot better than that.
There's the screen by Johnson. Takes a 3. And Johnson is good for 3.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
Collins passes to Smith. Now here's Herter. Herter, a screen on Russell. Giddey's got space. The rebound by the Nets. Sharp's got his 5th rebound in this one. Outside Russell. For the lead. No good there. 3 quarters of play and a close one here. Bulls out in front, up by 2. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this 4th quarter promises to be a good one. Jalen Smith is out there with Zach Collins. Then it's Williams. Then there's Kevin Herter. And it's Giddey in at the point. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Tremendous momentum building toward those final possessions.
Yeah, with 8 lead changes so far, it feels like this is going to come down to the last shot.
Well, he is desperately trying to get something going, but this has not been his night. They need to consider making an adjustment.
Shot by Johnson, no good. Chicago trailing here. Outside Giddey, it's Herter on the wing. Looking to get it going. And it's Giddey missing.
Well, it's just not been his night. He's finding good looks, but they're just not falling.
Johnson for 3. He drops it from range. Johnson's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Giddey with it, and Johnson picks him up defensively. Russell against Herter. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own.
When you get faced up at one end, you want to get it back at the other.
A bit of a duel going on between them. Came down the floor looking for immediate payback.
Pass to Whitehead. They set the pick. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. It goes on Patrick Williams.
No debate there. He got hammered.
You know, Stan, for a team with such a proud history, the last decade has been a tough one for the Bulls.
Yeah, Brian, it really has. They've had competitive teams, but they haven't won a full playoff series since 2014. And for such a dedicated and passionate fan base, that's been really difficult for them, let alone the front office and people that want to turn this thing around as quickly as they can.
Out of bounds. It'll go to the Nets.
And that's a foolish pass. Plain and simple.
For Brooklyn, Williams is checked in for Whitehead, and it's Johnson in for Melton. Johnson against White. Johnson passes to Claxton. Now here's Williams. He's closely guarded. And here's Thomas from the arc. Chicago with a rebound. Ball outside. Just under 2.5 minutes gone by now in the final quarter. Vucevic's shot is off. Brooklyn's got 2 of 5 threes to go here in the fourth. Williams on the wing. And the ball out of play. The Bulls will have it. The Bulls have gotten only 1 of 5 to fall here in the fourth. The kick out to White from behind the arc. Rebound Brooklyn. Clowney's got 5 rebounds tonight. Williams from long range. And it's cleared by Vucevic.
I can't believe he missed that three. Regardless, that's not a shot the defense should be giving it.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Dosunmu goes in. Pass to Buzelis to take the lead. Offensive rebound. It's stolen by Johnson. Now here's Thomas. Here in the fourth quarter, just under 2.5 gone by. From deep, Johnson knocks it down from distance. And the Nets lead by 5. And taking a quick gander here at the hustle stats for Brooklyn.
Well, all you can ask for is your guys to be really active on D, and they've been more than that tonight.
Yeah, one thing I think they should continue doing is attacking the break. Because right now, this defense has no answer for them when they do this.
Ball against Thomas. Fires the 3. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
Well, he's trying to shoot his way out of it from distance, but look, he's got to find something easy.
Ball against Johnson. Pass to Buzelis to take the lead. The shot, no good. And there's the call on Lonzo Ball. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
58 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. Outside Johnson. Here's the pick. Jacks up a 3. And it's cleared by Vucevic. Here's Chicago now. Trailing by 2. Ball finds White. Back to Ball. Pass to Buzelis. 4-3. To the left side wing. Shot clock at 5. Ball outside. This one for 3. Oh, he buried the 3.
There is absolutely no fear in his eyes. He loves the moment.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Thomas passes to Johnson. The 3. The 3 won't fall. So a close game sees Chicago taking this one. That was an incredible night of hoops.
down and run their offense in the half court.
Yeah, both sides are methodical. They want to get into their sets and create quality looks and also have floor balance. I'd be surprised if we see a ton of fast break opportunities tonight.
The starters for the Utah Jazz, the guard pair. It's George and Sexton. Walker Kessler is out there with Markkanen. And it's Hendricks in at the 3, the small forwards. Ball with the bucket.
And Ball, such a high IQ player. Superb at knowing when to take that triple.
Pass to Hendricks. On the wing, Markkanen. They set the pick. Kept alive. Kessler. A shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
No doubt those extra possessions can really add up against you when you do not take care of the defensive glass.
Now, here's Vucevic. Right wing. Pass to White. And here is Dosunmu. It's good. The assist that time from Ball.
How about the vision there by Ball, showing the unselfishness, just being a willing passer.
And we know injuries derailed last season for the Bulls, Greg, but with an aging core, you wonder where they go from here.
I mean, the Bulls are kind of stuck in the middle of things as it now stands. Not quite good enough to make a run in the East, but not in a position where they need to start over.
Chicago's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Ball just really good at running in transition. Smart at knowing where to sprint to in the open floor.
Kessler wide open. He fires. It's good from long range. Kessler's got 5 now.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Pass to Buzelis. Stolen by Markkanen. Outside, Sexton. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Markkanen sets the pick for Sexton. And there's the drive. George with no one around. Can't tie it up as that one misses. The Bulls leading by 3. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Billy Donovan and I got a chance to talk for a little bit. We talked about the challenges that come with playing against Lauri Markkanen. Coach said you have to know where Lauri is at all times because he's so effective playing off the ball. He's a knockdown shooter and a smart cutter, and he moves extremely well for his size. This team's got a lot of respect for the mobile 7-footer. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. The Bulls have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
Vucevic knows who he is. This guy is a close scorer, legit threat to finish it with authority.
Pass to Kessler. Now here's Markkanen. The 3 from George. Drills it from outside.
When the defense totally lost track of him, he punishes them with a 3-pointer. That's a bad decision.
The 7th pick in 2017, Lauri Markkanen. Almost a throw-in that Donovan Mitchell trade.
That's incredible to think of now in the context of this guy becoming an all-star in his own right, Kevin. I mean, Markkanen is a 7-footer who's got efficient offensive numbers, like 50, 40, 90 type numbers. He is an uncommon talent.
And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That is his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
Markkanen sets the pick for Sexton. Kicks it out to Markkanen. For 3. Rebounded by Vucevic. The Bulls have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Dosunmu, shot's good.
And Ball, a terrific distributor. He's got great size at that point guard position, which enables him to see over smaller defenders.
Over to the wing. Here's Kessler. Oh, he misses the dunk.
Oh, no excuse for a guy of his caliber. You've got to finish that slam. Got to be a little embarrassed by that one. Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
He rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. Here's Markkanen after the Bulls pick up 2.
He is single-handedly dropping the
temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Shot clock at 5. Here's Ball. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Ball's got 7.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
You want to continue to build on this lead. Right now, still a little too close for comfort.
And so it's the And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Bulls?
Playing inside out in that first quarter led to some high percentage shots in the paint.
It is great when you can get that established early, because to me it opens up every other aspect of your game.
On the floor for Utah, getting going here in the second quarter. They've got Clarkson. Martin is out there with Collins. Then it's Williams. And it's Juzang in at the point guard.
I'll tell you, you are playing with fire anytime you leave this guy open, and they just got burned.
From downtown, the offensive rebound. Smith, the pass to Herter. Giddey kicks to Herter. And it's Giddey in the corner. Another shot. Smith dishes to Williams. Herter against Clarkson. Pass to Giddey. The 3-ball. And the rebound goes to Martin.
Well, the defense clearly was not interested in guarding him from downtown. They're very fortunate he missed.
Oh, he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open. Giddey sets the pick for Herter. And stolen by Williams. Deflects the pass. And here's the fast break. Clarkson leading the way. Plenty of space. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
As a shooter, Clarkson can be so efficient. He gets the ball and goes right into his shot.
And Giddey gets it to go.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
Driving inside. In the corner, it's Martin. Here's Collins. Chicago grabs the miss. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Herter kicks to Giddey. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. It's stolen by Smith. And the dunk by Smith.
Once he took off, good night, Jalen Smith on his way to the cup.
Pass to Clarkson. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. Here's Juzang. Giddey defending. Here's Martin.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure. Pass to Herter. No good on the triple. And here's Collins. He'll bring it up for Utah. Trailing by 2. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Bulls coach Billy Donovan keeps perspective. He says, I used to come back from a tough road loss, go straight to the office and pull an all-nighter, trying to figure out what went wrong. My highs were too high and my lows were too low. You have to realize so much of it is just luck. The breaks of life. Kevin?
That's right, D.A. We respect Billy Donovan as much as any coach in the NBA. But a good outlook there, you're right. Hey, thank you. Williams outside. Collins kicks to Herter. For the 3. Drops in the tray. And the Bulls lead by 2. 1:20 left to play here in the half. Clarkson passes to Williams. Looking for Clarkson. He gets it there. Outside for Martin. Collins, a screen on Collins. Martin attacking.
Yeah, that's a great setup. Screen the defender off and let him elevate.
Oh, right. And wasn't the timing ideal? My goodness, the D with no chance to react.
The execution was simply flawless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run that play.
Herter setting the pick for Giddey. A three-pointer, no good. For Utah, they've gone 6 of 8 from the field in the second quarter. Collins, a screen on Williams. Here's Juzang. No good from outside. Got the defender off his feet with the pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. No one near Herter as he lets it fly. And he's good on the three ball.
Just finding the open man and making sure it's on time and on target. This is who Josh Giddey is.
Juzang passes to Clarkson. There's the drive. Kicks it out to Collins. Martin with a screen on Smith. Outside Martin. He gets it up. And it's wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
And that is massive.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
27.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Nice game. Great performance by Lonzo Ball.
It's something that isn't his strength, but he's done a great job of finding the open man.
Well, what he did was sustain it throughout the first half. He ran the offense to absolute perfection.
They've got Vucevic all out there with White. Then it's Bruce Ellis, and it's Dosunmu in at the 3 slot. That's Billy Donovan's 5 as we get going here in the second half. Hey, Greg, Kobe White has proven he can run the show.
Yeah, well, he's more than just a scorer. He's become a quality playmaker with better decision-making. But his biggest improvement has been his efficiency.
Ball finds White. It's good. The assist that time from Ball. Ball's got 4 assists in the game.
And you have got to honor White on the perimeter. Once he gets comfortable from there, it's going to be bad news for the defense.
The 3 from George. Rebound by the Bulls. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds in this game. Back to White from deep. Utah with the rebound. Pass to Hendricks. And there is the whistle. That goes on Kobe White. That's his first foul.
Personal foul. First team foul.
It's stolen. Dosunmu with it. George picks him up. And it's Dosunmu with the jam.
Well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
Here's George. Pass to Kessler. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Here's Hendricks. 6 on the shot clock. Markkanen passes to Sexton. Shoots over Ball. Offensive rebound. Markkanen. And Markkanen throws it down.
This is what you hope. You want to see Markkanen mix it up on the glass, right? Keep the play alive. Make sure you convert. Boy, not on the same page there. And in a possession ball game, that's a big mistake.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Out to the right wing. You know, a trend that's been unmistakable, Greg, over the last few decades has been the number of positionless players.
Yeah, and I think that's a great thing, right? So many players now with diversity in their skill set, and there's no need to commit a player to a certain role just based on their size.
Pass to Buzelis. Now White, defended by George. Poked loose and stolen by Sexton. Markkanen kicks to Sexton. Back to Markkanen. Nice ball movement by Utah. The 3. And Sexton is good for 3. Sexton's got the game tied up here for the Jazz.
This guy has got a variety of scoring moves. Colin Sexton keeps the opposition guessing.
Hey, guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
George passes to Markkanen. Back to George. Picks it out to Markkanen. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead there. Chicago's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Doris, when you think of the Utah Jazz, where do they fit in a very competitive Western Conference?
Well, think about it, Kev. The Gobert and Mitchell era was successful, but they couldn't get to the ultimate prize. So then you trade those two players away, you get a load of picks. This is the direction you've chosen, but now it's going to take some time and some patience.
And the foul called on Ayo Dosunmu. That is his first foul of the game. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Smith checked in for Vucevic. Zach Collins comes in for Buzelis. Williams, he's checked in for Dosunmu. And Kevin Huerter subbed in for White. Out to Clarkson. Pass to Juzang. Drains it from beyond the arc. Juzang's got the lead up to 1 now for the Jazz.
Well, Clarkson doesn't do huge assist numbers, but he won't waste a wide-open opportunity. Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
The Bulls making a switch here. Giddey's checked in.
There's just such a confidence to Josh Giddey's game when he's on the offensive end. Pretty shot there.
Juzang passes to Clarkson. Here's Juzang. Giddey defending. 40 seconds left to play in the third. Clock at 6. Collins kicks to Mark. And he finishes nicely on the layup. And that's now 9 points for Martin.
A big man who does a little bit of everything. Collins' team-first attitude shining through with that terrific pass.
Pass to Smith. Got a piece of it. Now here's Giddey. He's guarded closely. And that one drops.
Boy, that's a high percentage look by Jalen Smith. Exactly what you want your big man to create.
Collins a screen on Giddey. Juzang passes to Collins. And he dunks it down. 7 lead changes now, and we're just in the third quarter.
Yeah, frustrating for a coach, but it's great to watch as a fan.
3 quarters of play in a close game here. Jazz out in front. Up. 3/10 quarters behind us. 1 more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Utah leading. Taking a look at the Jazz. Martin is out there with Williams. Then it's John Collins. Then there's Jordan Clarkson. And it's Juzang in at the 1 spot.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
Collins setting the pick for Giddey. Collins kicks to Giddey.
Jazz foul. Juzang. Second personal foul. First team foul.
Collins looking around. Pass to Smith. Shot clock at 6. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Williams for 3.
And defensively, Collins has the strength, mobility, and work ethic to be an impact performer. Good to see a player going all out when the game's this tight.
You know, G.A., he knows what his job is. Control the offensive glass.
And that's so demoralizing to your opponent. To play great defense and have the possession end that way, that's tough to take. Boy, forget about keeping it simple. He went for the high degree of difficulty on that lay-in.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. And when you talk to people about the Bulls, G.A., Michael Jordan's shadow still looms large over this team and organization.
And Kevin, they haven't won a championship before or since he was in Chicago. They've had plenty of good players, Derrick Rose, an MVP, Jimmy Butler as well. But the results haven't been there.
Bull with a wide open look. Rebound, Utah. Markkanen from outside. It's stolen by Vucevic. And there's Buzelis on the assist from Ball. Buzelis has got it all tied up now for Chicago. Pass to Markkanen. Sexton kicks to Markkanen. Back to Sexton. They set the screen. Kicks it out to Markkanen. 5 to shoot. Good on the three-point shot. And the Jazz lead by 3.
Well, you have got to be willing to close when Markkanen is out on the perimeter. His shot will punish you because it's a sweet shooting stroke.
Pass to Buzelis. White dishes the ball. Lets it go from deep. And he banks in the layup.
And love the commitment from White. Took the bump, went up strong, and rewarded with 2 points.
Here's Juzang. Outside, Markkanen. Fires from deep. And the Jazz, another 3.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Pass to Buzelis. Buzelis sets a screen for Ball. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy.
And Ball is not going to back down in these moments. In fact, he embraces being the man when it's a big possession.
Juzang passes to Hendricks. Here's Kessler. And Kessler throws it down.
And you can feel the excitement in the building. Both of these teams pouring it on.
There's been a bit of a flurry here late, and this game may come down to which side gets a stop or 2.
Here's Juzang. Light covering. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Here's the screen. Over Buzelis. It's all in by the Bulls. Pass to Dosunmu. He takes it in. Kessler with the rebound. Kessler's got his 5th rebound in this one. Juzang passes to Markkanen. And there is the whistle. It goes on Kobe White. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Kevin Huerter. He's checked in for Dosunmu.
Checking into the game for number 13.
1:03 left to play in the final quarter. Pass to Buzelis to tie it up. Good. And oh, that was an enormous 3-pointer.
So much riding on that shot. What a bucket.
I'll tell you, that changes things, doesn't it? Good job, young fella. What a game.
Sexton kicks to Markkanen. Another miss by Utah. And so it's Ball who brings the ball up for Chicago to take the lead. 2 free throws coming up, and they call. And here we go. A coach's challenge has been initiated.
Personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for Chicago.
Calls to make. Personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double checking, and the game continues on.
He knocks down the clutch free throw. Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Well, this game has the feel that it could come down to the wire, so that is just the kind of success they need to have at the foul line.
Here's Collins. Pass to George. Back to Collins. Puts the move on. Money!
And pressure doesn't get to Collins. Baskets like that prove how locked in he is.
There's the pick. Buzelis with the ball. Back to Ball. Pass to Buzelis. to win it. Oh, it's no good. And we're headed to overtime. And now we get set for overtime in what has been a stirring contest. The pairing up front, it'll be Collins and Kessler. The guard and off guard are Clarkson and Sexton. And it's Hendricks in at the 3.
This is as easy as it gets for Collins. Once he establishes position, the defense is tough.
Ball with the bucket.
Well, exposing a weakness in the defense, that's just way too easy, guys.
Giddey against Clarkson. It's Collins high post. Back to Clarkson. Clarkson with the screen for Sexton. Hands it from downtown. And the Jazz lead by 3.
And it's important Sexton makes those. The more he hits from outside, the more the floor will open up.
Herter with it. He's picked up by Collins. Took the opportunity when he saw it.
And a big play. 1 3-pointer right on the heels of another. And again, we're tied. How about this crowd right now? They are bananas.
And Collins gets double teamed. Utah moving it around. Here's Sexton. Comes up empty down low. The Bulls shooting so far very efficient. All around, about 55%. Ball from long range. Giddey kicks to Herter. Pass the ball. Just 5 to shoot. Driving to the basket. Here's Giddey. And a miss there on the triple. For Utah, they've gone 2 of 3 from the floor as we've gotten this overtime period underway. Hendricks. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
I mean, he makes plays like that in his sleep. The game is just far too easy.
Here's Ball. Taken away. Here's the break. Here's Kessler. It drops.
Kessler, assisted by
Chicago with the ball. The drive-by ball. And it's sent back by Kessler. Sexton deciding where to go with it. Kicks it out to Collins. Pass to Kessler. Sexton up top. It's deflected. Stolen by Ball. On the wing, Giddey. Now Vucevic. Now here's Herter. He's covered by Clarkson. Hands of the ball is out of bounds. Clarkson touched it last.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And offensively, a little bit of a careless toss. You could have used a better angle on that pass.
Sexton for 3. They get a hand on it. And it's out of bounds to the Jazz as Utah retains possession. Here's Markkanen. And there's another one for the Jazz. And so it's Utah with the win. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra period.
and play their half-court sets.
When you're a young player, that can be a bit frustrating, but when you're a vet, you welcome games like this where everyone can take their time.
Now here's Russell. The starters for Utah. George and Sexton in the backcourt. Lauri Markkanen out there with Walker Kessler. And it's Hendricks in at the 3 slot. Williams from long range. Kessler with a rebound. George against Russell. Markkanen up top. There's the triple. Claxton with a rebound. Thomas outside. Pass to Johnson. Right wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The 3 from Russell. The kick out to Johnson. Claxton a screen on Markkanen. Johnson for 3. They get the rebound. And so George will bring it up for Utah. Markkanen from long range. And no good. For Brooklyn, they've gone 0 for 3 from the floor to begin this one. Grant, a big reason for Utah to be excited about the future. Their young head coach, Will Hardy.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, he's had this team competitive after trading away both Mitchell and Gobert. And I love how Hardy has developed guys like Lauri Markkanen.
Now here's Markkanen. For 3. Count it. And that shot gets him in the books. He's 1 for 3.
This is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
Here's Claxton. The 3 from Russell. Can't hit it. He's 0 for 2 now.
Defensively, you pick your poison. That time, they gambled off the right guy.
Kept alive. Tries again. Outside for Sexton. Pass to Hendricks. Second chance shot. Thomas with a steal. And here's the fast break. Williams from long range. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Opportunistic basketball. Gets a great look at the 3 in transition.
And there's Kessler on the assist by George.
A growing aspect of George's game. He's working to become a strong facilitator.
From deep, Johnson. Some solid defense from Markkanen. And so George will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. They trail by 1. Pass to Kessler. Back to George. Kessler, a screen on Russell. For 3, George nails it from 3.
And there's a nice rhythm to his three-point shot. You know, George has a confident stroke.
Russell from outside hits the trifecta.
When he has enough space, he's more than comfortable letting it fly from outside.
Now Markkanen. Kessler, a screen on Johnson. Markkanen, the pass to Kessler. Markkanen looking it over. Takes the 3. And he goes up strong with a one-handed jam.
He turns the offensive board into a big slam.
Wow, he was so well positioned there. Credit his anticipation. Now here's Thomas. Pass to Johnson. Over Markkanen. The shot by Johnson, no good.
That's a shot he'd like back. He's usually going to make those.
Here's Sexton. Markkanen with it, guarded by Russell. 17-foot shot on the way. Will not go. Misses off the front iron. Brooklyn trailing. Williams passes to Johnson. Back to Williams. And Williams punches it home.
Just a textbook lead pass right there, putting it right where it needed to be.
There's 48 seconds left in the opening quarter. Pass to Markkanen. Kessler, a screen on Johnson. Markkanen from long range. Another miss by Markkanen.
The green light they gave him early should probably turn red. He needs to get others involved.
Here's Thomas for 3. That shot is off. The Jazz have gone 4 of 10 shooting the rock in this first quarter. Sexton finds George. Sexton, a screen on Williams. Here's Sexton. Stolen by Russell, who poked away. Thomas outside. Williams from long range. And at the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Nets out. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out ahead in this second quarter. All right, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
Well, they've used the fast break well to score easy points and keep the defense unsettled.
In this league, it is so hard scoring in the half court, so you have to run every time you get the opportunity.
We've got Sharp, and it's Clowney in at the power forward. So that's the Nets 5. It's good on the putback.
And put your head down and go to work. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, when the game is up for grabs like this one has been, it's all about the attention to detail.
Now here's Martin. Had the space there, but it's offline. The Nets haven't been to the conference finals since 2003. Richard, can you name someone on that team?
There was a 22-year-old dude named, I think it was Richard Jefferson, but most people have never heard of him. But seriously, the Nets have had some great players over the last 20 years. They just haven't had that same team success.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. The Jazz are making progress. Coach Will Hardy said this team has shown grit and character and has developed a lot of confidence. When we're going through game preparations, the players walk away knowing if they do certain things, they can win. That's a big step in the right direction.
A bright future, Allie. Thank you. Juzang, no good. Well, Brooklyn's shooting right at 35%. Not getting what they want out there. From deep, Melton. Shot clock at 6. Here's Martin. They get it again. Here's Whitehead. Martin outside. The 3 is up. Pass to Whitehead. Sharp, a screen on Williams. Whitehead drains the triple. Whitehead's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. These teams just feeling each other out.
Yeah, I love the spirit out there. Already 6 lead exchanges.
Clarkson against Melton. Clarkson passes to Williams. Martin outside. Here he goes. Williams in the post. And Williams punches it home.
Making sure of it with the two-hand slam, B.A.
Yeah, I don't blame him. With the score this tight, you cannot take a chance here. Johnson, he's checked in for Martin. And the league has cut down on back-to-backs, but some pushback for a surprising reason. Richard, teams need multiple days off in order to practice.
Yeah, that's right. With only 1 day off between games, teams don't usually practice on those off days. It's not as simple as it looks. If the defense lets him inside, he will not hesitate. He'll gladly drop that thing right in the cup.
Martin a screen. Pass to Juzang. Launches it. He's looking good. 2 buckets in 3 attempts.
He can really stroke it from deep. You have to keep better tabs on him.
Here's Whitehead. Williams defending. Whitehead can't get it to go. Utah has gone 2 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the second. The 3 ball. Another 3 for Utah.
The three-point shot has been his weapon of choice this quarter.
Pass to Clowney. Beyond the arc. Collins with the rebound. Utah leading by 5. Williams a screen on Johnson. Now here's Williams. Here's Juzang. Clarkson with the ball. Tries it from the top of the key, and the jumper is on the mark. And the Jazz lead by 7.
I like the readiness of Clarkson, always prepared to hoist up a shot.
They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
The kick out to Johnson. They set the screen. Pass to Sharp. Melton outside. A shot to stop the run. He buries it from 3. Melton's got 6 here in the quarter.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
The kick out to Williams. Oh, he tries a 3. Here's Martin. Back to Clarkson. 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. It's Martin on the wing. Goes back up. It's deflected. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Net ball.
Nine seconds left to play in the half. Now Melton. Three-pointer Sharp. And again, it's Brooklyn from deep. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. Utah ahead. They're up by 1. And we'll see you back here after the break. Third quarter action in just a bit. And if you're just joining us, we played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Utah leading. Well, the Jazz are one of just 10 NBA franchises to never win a championship, Grant.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to believe considering they have the 4th best winning percentage in NBA history. Think about it. If it weren't for one Michael Jordan, they'd probably have 2 rings.
So the Jazz 5 right now. George and Sexton in the backcourt. Walker Kessler out there with Lauri Markkanen. And it's Hendricks in at the 3. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Markkanen sticks one from distance.
Shots like this help Markkanen get in rhythm. The D must be aware of his ability to catch and fire.
Screen by Claxton. Shot from the top of the key. The kick out to Johnson. Outside, Williams. Let's go with a 3. Kessler with a rebound. Kessler's got his 4th rebound in this one. Over to the left wing. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in.
You're not going to fool the officials too often on an illegal screen.
That's a very avoidable turnover. You gotta focus on the details.
Nets trail by 4. Claxton a screen on George. Russell from outside knocks down the long J. Russell's got 6.
A volume 3-point shooter. The coaching staff encourages Russell to fire away.
The 3 from Sexton. Brooklyn pulls it in. Claxton's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Oh, it's stolen. Markkanen with it, and Johnson picks him up defensively. A chance here to catch up with Alley from the sideline.
Nick Claxton, despite his relatively slender frame, is a hard-nosed defender. He said, I bow down to no one. Every time I step on the court, I always have that chip on my shoulder. That's just the fiery competitor that I am. At the end of the day, I know what I'll hang my hat on, the defensive side of the ball. Brian?
Okay, Alley, thanks for that. Here's Sexton. No points yet. Here's Hendricks. Pure from 3-point range.
Yeah, moving the ball with a purpose. Lauri Markkanen. Nice pass.
Steps back and fires. And it's good. Off the back of the rim and in. He's got 5.
Nice move to get inside and create a good look for himself.
And you watch Cam Thomas. Talk about a scorer's mindset, RJ.
Yeah, he's a tough matchup. He's proficient and efficient from all 3 levels. He is as confident as they come.
Now here's Johnson. Drills it from deep. Johnson's gotten himself going with a triple. His first basket of the game.
You got to get out on Johnson, especially when he's roaming around these corner spots.
For 3, Sexton. Here's Kessler. Tries again. Five on the clock. Markkanen, the pass to Sexton. Markkanen with a screen on Thomas. Sexton misses.
I think he's gone completely dry. Nothing is hitting.
Yeah, and the risk now is that he gets inside his own head. Time to take deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and let the game come to you.
Yeah, aggressive move by Russell. He's got the deep bag of tricks. So tough to stop.
Pass to Hendricks. They need this. It's good. Set up beautifully by George. Hendricks has got 6 in the quarter.
You can't lose a shooter like him on the court. The ball will find its way to him, and he will drill a 3 each time.
Russell to pass to Thomas. No good with the triple.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Pass to Sexton from downtown. That doesn't go either for Sexton.
He hasn't been able to find his touch this quarter.
Yeah, straight up, guys. Like, he's ice cold, like freezing. What's colder than cold? But you don't have to shoot it, my guy. It's okay to pass the ball.
Now here's Williams. He's got 5. Claxton a screen on George. And the call is going to be, yes, an illegal screen.
And this is the absolute wrong time to stop communicating. They have to get in sync.
A full line change here for Brooklyn. Johnson against Clarkson. With the drive. The shot's good.
You give Clarkson an opening and he'll cut right through your defense. He has great instincts on the drive.
And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. 2-point game. And it's Jordan Clarkson with the foul. That's his first foul of the game. And the Nets making a change here. Clowney's checked in. 27 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. And he gets the jumper to drop. Clowney's got his second basket of the game. 19 seconds left in the third quarter. Pass to Filipowski. Here's Juzang. There's the drive. Yep, that one's good. Juzang's got 11 points.
The floater is so tough to defend against. Nothing defenders can really do but shake their heads.
It's still anybody's game as we reach the end of 3. Utah ahead. They lead by 2. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
You talk about painting a magnificent picture with that dime. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
A lot of times a spectacular pass is more impressive than a spectacular shot. This is one of those times.
Well, this has been a great contest so far. I imagine the fourth quarter could have more action in store for us. They've got Johnson, and it's Whitehead in at the small forward. So that's the Nets 5. Collins a screen. Pass to Clarkson. Here's Juzang. The 3. Offensive rebound. Williams with it. Over to the wing. Here's Juzang. 6 on the shot clock. They set the pick. Here's Filipowski. Kicks it out to Clarkson. Now Collins. Guarded by Sharp to the middle. Here's Clarkson. And at last, they get one to fall. And the Jazz lead by 4.
You got to bring more fire than that to stop Clarkson. He's a pro at fending off tight defense.
Here's Whitehead. Williams defending. Inside. Outside Sharp. Pass to Martin. Fires for 3. Collins with the rebound. Collins has got 4 rebounds now. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Here's the 3. Knocks down the triple. Now it's a 7-point Jazz lead.
And this is a part of Collins' game that's really evolved. Hitting jumpers and catch and shoot.
Clowney. Outside Sharp. Fires from deep. And he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
Cutting into this lead. They're well within striking distance.
A stop or two in the next minute or so, and they could even this game up. Great job to keep battling.
Collins finds Williams. And now the Nets on the break. Here's Martin. Three-pointer in transition. And now just a 2-point Utah lead.
He just didn't like what he saw inside, so he takes the open transition three. But if he missed, Coach might have had some words for him.
Connects from downtown.
Man, this is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
It's stolen by Johnson. Sinks the tray. Johnson's got his first 3 points of the game.
And the defense is looking almost lost on the perimeter. That opens up a quality three-point shot, and he delivers.
Big three right there, especially at this point in the game.
Clarkson against Johnson. 5 to shoot. Here's Jose. Lets it go from deep. They get the rebound. The kick out to Williams. Williams with the screen. Collins passes to Williams. Now Clarkson. For 3, Collins. The shot no good. A look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by in the fourth. The shot by Johnson, no good.
You know what? He's got to look to get other guys involved. The three-point stroke is off.
Here's Jose. Pass to Williams. Collins with it. Clarkson for 3. Hits the three-pointer. Clarkson's got 5 points in the quarter.
This is who Clarkson is. He just knows how to get buckets, especially in the clutch.
Johnson passes to Sharp. It's stolen by Clarkson. And the Jazz pushing it up now. Out to the right wing. There's 53 seconds left in the fourth. Collins outside. 6 to shoot. Over Johnson. Collins, no good. What a huge trip here.
Absolutely. You can feel the energy in this arena.
The 3. Martin misses. On offense, here's Utah. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth.
And they just continue to attack, even late in the game, while they're up big.
If you want to be great, you have to have that killer instinct.
No need to shoot. This one is done.
Yes, they've got to be happy with tonight's effort.
Filipowski for 3. No luck on that one. So we see Utah get the win here. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them.
also good rebound.
Well, I'd like to say it's great coaching, Kevin. You know, I can always give those guys credit. But in reality, both teams do have a philosophy to go after the ball, and both these teams have tough, active people who are committed to getting as many extra possessions as they possibly can.
And you can't win in this league unless you can rebound, right?
Well, especially on the defensive end, Kevin. You've got to be able to keep the other team off the glass. At the offensive end, it sort of varies from team to team.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. The guard set is Giddey and White. Buzelis out there with Dosunmu. And it's Vucevic in at the center, locking down the middle. And here are the Bulls now, following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. Here's Giddey, and he drives in. Here's Buzelis. That one's no good. That makes him 1 for 2.
He'll probably hear about that shot selection when he gets back to the bench. Maybe not their best option.
We play just over a minute here in the first. Since moving back to Brooklyn in 2012, the Nets, Greg, have won just 2 playoff series.
Just think about the all-stars they've had. KG, Pierce, Durant, Kyrie, Harden. I could name more. The Nets just haven't been able to put it together.
And it's Russell in the corner. Fires for 3. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Now Vucevic. On the wing, Dosunmu. Here's Giddey. And again, Chicago. No good. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Russell finds Williams. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. For Chicago, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Giddey, no good. Claxton with it. Williams with a clean look. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
The train. Buzelis' shot is good. Buzelis has got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for Chicago. There's Russell with the 3. And the Nets, another 3.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
Now, here's Thomas after the miss from Vucevic. Thomas deciding where to go with it. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. If he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
Drills the three-pointer.
And Buzelis continues to work on improving his 3-ball. When he's hitting from there, everything else becomes easier.
Now here's Thomas. He's got 5. Takes a 3. He's now 2 for 3 with that miss. Chicago trailing here. Here's Buzelis. And then Buzelis with the dunk.
And throwing it down, not necessarily Buzelis' game, but don't give him that much space.
There's Thomas with the 3. Sinks the triple. Thomas got 8 points.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
59 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Buzelis. Rebound by Williams. Williams has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Launches it. Offensive rebound.
Well, that's why he's out there using his size in the paint.
Picked by Vucevic. Here's Buzelis. And the 3 off target.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
Johnson sets the screen for Russell. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Second chance shot into the lane. It's blocked.
Making good use of his length. Buzelis able to track down the block that time.
12 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Oh, trying for it. Now, here's Dosumu. Here's Buzelis. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
I know it's early, but all those three-pointers, boy, do they add up.
And with each made three, their confidence continues to build. Their opposition might want to change their approach to try to slow them down.
Watford out there with Sharp. Then it's Johnson. Then it's Martin. And it's Wilson in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the Nets 5. And it's Sharp missing. And so it's Williams who brings it up for the Bulls. They trail by 3. You know, Stan, I've always thought that your path, kind of like Billy Donovan's, going from the college game to the pro game, both enjoying success, very, very similar paths.
Except for one thing, Kevin. Billy could actually play. I couldn't. So, you know.
Well, you're not being fair to yourself now. Come on.
Billy was a great college player. And I think, Kevin, Billy Donovan's the most underrated coach in the NBA. This guy's a surefire Hall of Famer. Back-to-back national titles in college. And then you look at the consistent success he has had in the NBA with teams. This guy is as good as anyone in the country, heck, anyone in the world coaching basketball.
Well said. Here's Jones following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. Shoots the 3. The rebound by Sharp. Nets leading by 3. Johnson surveying the floor. Beyond the arc. Rebound by Williams. Chicago's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Jones, that's for 2. Kicks it out to Collins. Williams for 3. Brooklyn with the rebound. Outside Wilson. Fires the 3. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. Wilson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Nets.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Outside Williams. Pass to Collins. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
Well, that's what you're looking for. Shots from point-blank range.
Here's Watford. They grab their own miss. Here's the 3. Gets the three-pointer to fall. And the Nets lead by 7.
Well, the defense gave that away. He's a skilled shooter who you have to contest at the arc.
Terry kicks to Williams. This one for 3. Pass to Herter. Outside, Jones. From past the arc. The rebound by Watford. Nets leading by 7. Outside for Martin. 3-pointers. And again, Brooklyn with the triple. Stan, of all the different styles of offense in this NBA, what style is the toughest to defend, toughest to stop?
Kevin, I don't think there's really any difference in terms of styles or systems in terms of what's tough to stop. It's players. And it's how well a system maximizes their best players. That's what makes teams tough to stop.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, the Brooklyn Nets wasted no time hiring their next coach, Jordi Fernandez, shortly after the conclusion of last season. Despite his youth, Fernandez has been on the rise after stops as an assistant with the Kings, Nuggets, and Cavs, as well as coaching the Canadian national team. Kevin?
No, DA, we've been talking about Jordi Fernandez for a long time. Now his big break, and I'm really happy. I know we all are for Coach Fernandez. Hey, David, thank you. And it's the Bulls with the ball, following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. Herter, no good. Wilson the pass to Watford. Outside Martin. Launches a three. And the Nets another three.
Man, he is feeling it from three-point range. All of a sudden, he just can't miss.
Jones for three. Rebound, Brooklyn. And here's Martin. He's got 9. It's rebounded by Herter. Pass to Jones. Collins setting the pick for Herter. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so that brings the first half to a close. Nets lead by 13. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. It's been one outstanding game from Matas Buzelis.
And the bulk of his damage so far has come from the perimeter. A lot of threes early on.
And defensively, they're giving him too many good looks out there. They need to start running him off the line.
So for Chicago right now, the guard set is Giddey and White. Dosunmu is out there with Buzelis. And it's Vucevic in at the 5, roaming the paint. And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. And great for Buzelis. Basketball has been a part of his family for generations.
Yeah, how about that? Both his parents played professionally in Lithuania, as did both of his grandfathers. And his dad now works with the Lithuanian men's national team as a physiotherapist.
Here is Russell, following the three-point basket by Chicago. From the arc. And Vucevic pulls it down. Bulls trail by 7. Pick by Vucevic. Here's Buzelis. Offline with his 3. Brooklyn's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Johnson with a screen on Giddey. And Johnson with the stop.
And the precision passing of Russell, this time out of the pick and roll.
Here's Buzelis, covered by Johnson. Pass to Buzelis. The shot's good on the assist by Vucevic. And that's now 20 points for Buzelis. Russell finds Thomas. Johnson with a screen on White. From deep, Thomas. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Buzelis has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And the foul called on Ayo Dosunmu. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Now, here's Thomas. 8 points for him. Johnson sets the screen for Thomas. Buries it from three-point range. Thomas got 11 points.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Russell against Giddey. Vucevic the pass to Dosunmu. Here's Buzelis. 20 points for him. Williams with the ball. Defended by Giddey. There's Thomas with the 3. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
And you can tell he's looking for his shot. He just believes in it.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc. It's those kind of passes that bring up the entire team's confidence.
The recent history of the Nets. You know, Greg, they're always looking for a big splash or a quick fix to be competitive.
And Kevin, this franchise has sold its future more than a few times, but they always find a way to bounce back. You hope they don't go for a quick fix with this group.
Here's Giddey, After the basket by Brooklyn, the shot's good. Giddey's got his first basket.
And defensively, that's just not going to cut it.
Nets leading by 10. Paxton sets the screen for Russell. No good on the wing three. For Chicago, they've gone even 5 of 10 on shot attempts in the third. Giddey the pass to Dosunmu. And that comes off the assist by Giddey. Dosunmu's got it back down to single digits for Chicago. Johnson with a screen on Giddey. There's Russell with the three. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
Well, he wanted to return the favor there for that last three, but it just wasn't in the cards.
Giddey against Russell. Now Buzelis. 22 points for him. From outside, off the mark. 32 seconds left here in the third quarter. For three, Williams connects from three-point range. Williams has got his third basket of the night.
Well, that's just excellent offense. If the defense is giving that up, you've got to take it.
Vucevic setting the pick for Buzelis. Pass to Giddey. They set the pick. 5 on the clock. Fires the three. The shot by Buzelis, no good. Russell from long range. And so it's Brooklyn with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Their defense has been active and effective.
All right, fans.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. Nets leading by 10. We've got Trendon Watford. He's out there with Sharp. Martin is out there with Wilson. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession.
Substitutions on the court.
Sharp sets the pick for Martin. Offensive rebound. Pass to Watford. Outside, Martin hits the three-point bomb. Martin's got the lead up to 13 now for Brooklyn.
He is cold-blooded. Drops the dagger. Piles on to what was already a big lead.
And defensively, that kind of effort is just not going to cut it.
So, Stan, you started in the NBA back in the mid-90s. How is coaching different from, say, now to back then?
Wow, Kevin, it's just so different and in so many ways. The players have gotten better. Bigger, faster, more skilled. There's more coaches on a staff. Strength coaches have increased in volume and in influence, so there's less practice. Everything now has to be done differently.
Everything is bigger, isn't it?
It really is.
Williams kicks to Herter. Misses the three. Nets leading by 11. To the right side. There's a screen. Takes the three. The shot by Watford, no good. Sharp, the pass to Wilson. Sharp with a screen on Williams. Here's Wilson. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. And the Nets lead by 13.
And watching that defensive effort right there, you wonder how much they want this game.
Yeah, I got to agree. Their defensive commitment's got to be a lot better.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Well, that's exactly what's needed when you're trying to turn things around.
Terry, the pass to Collins. Driving in and finished off by Collins.
He takes advantage of them in every way possible.
And Greg, he lures them into a trap on the steal and then bang, straight to the bucket.
Turning great defense into great offense. That's the kind of stop you're looking for.
Bulls trail by 11. Herter on the wing. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Brooklyn's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Martin from outside. Rebound by the Bulls. Williams has got his 4th rebound in this one. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Pass to Wilson. Jacks up a 3. Sinks the three-pointer.
Well, that's a shot you don't mind him taking. Gets a good look and trusts his shot to knock down the 3.
Terry kicks to Jones. And the Bulls with another miss. Nets leading by 14. Martin from outside. It's rebounded by Herter.
Yeah, and he seems to have lost his rhythm all of a sudden. This has not been his court.
Kicks it out to Collins. Bangs home the trifecta.
Yeah, showing off that ability to stretch the floor. Seems like everyone is a threat at the arc these days.
Pass to Martin. 1:14 left in the game. Lets the 3 fly. It's rebounded by Herter.
Well, he's trying to shoot his way out of it from distance, but look, he's got to find something easy. Well, his shot selection's been poor. If I were coaching this team, he'd be sitting next to me.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Nets.
Tonight, they seem committed to the three-point shot.
That was the bread and butter. Fortunately, they made enough of those, but sometimes it was quantity over quality.
Three-pointer. It's rebounded by Herter. Williams against Wilson. Williams kicks to Herter. Lets it go with a 3. That shot misses. Fires from way outside. Off target with that shot. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. A confident win in one.
Oh, BA, this is high level. You talk East versus West, that's usually championship or bust type aspirations.
And the starting group for Chicago. Gideon White pair to make the backcourt. Buzelis out there with Nikola Vucevic. And it's Dosunmu in at the three.
And there's a nice rhythm to his three-point shot. You know, George has a confident stroke.
Going all the way to the rack. And Markkanen with the stuff.
And after putting it down, he dangles from the rim a little.
Man, that's borderline taunting right there, Grant. They're playing with a certain swagger right now. Three-pointer, Buzelis. It's rebounded by Hendricks. It's Markkanen with the drive. Pass to George. Markkanen with a screen on Giddey. On the wing, Sexton. He's covered by Dosunmu. Clock at 6. Markkanen from long range. And can't get it to go. Now 1 of 2. And now the Bulls in transition. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Okay now, Rook. Buzelis showing he can finish with some power.
Kicks it out to Markkanen. Fades away. Another miss by Markkanen. Markkanen's gone 1 of 3 shooting so far. Doris, when we talk about home court advantages, the Jazz have amongst the best.
They do, BA. You have to play at altitude. They're also a little bit isolated as well, so travel is hard. Let me tell you this, their fan base is loud. L-O-U-D. Big time range from Colin Sexton. Test your limits, young sir.
And the first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. The shot by Buzelis no good.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him shoot it.
And there's the whistle. They'll pin that one on Nikola Vucevic. That's his first foul.
That was a good call. The defense wasn't established.
To the wing, right side. Hendricks. No good from outside. The Bulls have gone just 2 for 4 from the floor. Three-pointer, Buzelis. Another 3 for Chicago.
Just a gutsy shot by the rookie. Buzelis letting it fly from way out there.
George passes to Markkanen. It's good. Set up beautifully by George. Markkanen's got 5 now.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at it.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Ryan, Lauri Markkanen's shooting stroke at 7 feet tall had former Mavericks coach Rick Carlisle comparing him to Dirk. Lauri said it feels good to hear that because he's obviously a Hall of Famer, but there's still a long way to go, and it gives me more motivation to keep getting better. He's not getting a big head, Brian.
No, he's not, and that's the way you have to approach it to be great. Thanks, Allie. Buzelis' shot is good.
And in this action, the pick and roll, Buzelis is becoming really good at reading the defense.
Here's Markkanen. Out to the right wing. Back to George. From deep three-point range. Oh, he missed it. Making him 1 for 2 now. The Bulls have gone 4 of 7, shooting a solid percentage. Here's Buzelis. It's guarded by Markkanen. Pass to Giddey. Here's Buzelis. Three-pointer. And again, it's Chicago with a 3.
Very encouraging to see Buzelis just going off offensively. This rookie is certainly feeling himself right now, and I love it.
Now here's Markkanen. He's got 5. Here's Kessler. And he banks in the layup.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Three-pointer, Buzelis. Kessler with a rebound. The Jazz have gotten 50% of their shots to fall so far. They're 5 of 10. Kicks it out to Markkanen. There's the triple. Got a hand on it.
When it comes to contesting shots, Buzelis is showing us that he's got great timing. It's clear he's totally out of sync. The team needs to rethink its strategy around what to do with him.
And we've got 28 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's the 3. Shot is off. 5 for 10 now. Utah trailing here. It's George on the drive. Back to Markkanen. Oh, George with a steal. And the Jazz pushing it up now. And Josh Giddey is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
With 1 on the clock. And it's blocked. They retain possession. And it's good. But hang on here. The officials may want to take a look at it on the replay monitor. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time or not?
While this call may not decide the game, you always prefer...
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one. Chicago ahead, up 1. Quarter number 2 coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even on the scoreboard so far. And before we move on, what do you think about what we've seen here from the Bulls tonight?
It's simple. The main takeaway from the first quarter is they're winning this game with defense.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
On the court for the Bulls, Kevin Huerter out there with Patrick Williams. Then it's Trey Jones. Then there's Zach Collins. And it's Ball in at the shooting guard position. Clarkson for 3. They grab their own miss. Filipowski, the pass to Collins. Oh, deflected. And so the ball out of bounds. Huerter touched it last.
He clipped the ball there, but not enough to nab the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Just 5 to shoot. Oh, there's the alley. Tipped away.
And the idea was good, but the execution severely lacking.
Just a missed connection, and it happens. I'm sure they will go back to it if given the opportunity.
Jones from outside. No good on the shot. The Jazz have gone just 1 of 3 to begin the second quarter. Williams passes to Collins. From outside, off the mark.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
Jones misses. Utah has gone 1 for 3 from downtown here in the second. Now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second. Sinks it from distance.
Yeah, sharp feed by Collins. His coaches want more of that from him.
They've been having major problems offensively.
Definitely in a bit of a dry spell.
The 3. Chicago with a rebound. And now the Bulls in transition. No coverage that time. Williams has gotten himself on the board with a 3 there.
As a passer, Ball has great fundamentals. His timing and accuracy are right on the money.
Collins with a screen on Huerter. Utah with another miss. Chicago has gone 5 of 10 from beyond the three-point line in this game. There's Ball with a 3. Can't get it to fall. 0 for 2 now. Utah's gone 2 of 6 from distance here in the second quarter. Collins passes to Clarkson. And he lobs it up top. Here's Juzang. Williams defending. Clarkson for 3. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
There's only so much you can take away, and you want to try to stop Jordan Clarkson on the drive so he gets the face-up jumper to go.
And when you talk about guards who can really attack in the lane, Jordan Clarkson is on that list, Doris.
BA, there are just certain guys who are comfortable operating in tight windows. Clarkson's mindset is score. He's got a great sense for where and when to pull up into his shot. He can burn you from 3. Little bit streaky, but boy, he can really get on a hot streak.
They're running. Here's Filipowski. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Opportunity for a three-point play here. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Jazz.
Well, their hands resulting in plenty of steals in the early going, keeping the opposition there off balance.
Another big component of their early game tonight has been points off turnovers. Great job converting on those chances.
Here's Clarkson. Here's Juzang, hounded by Ball. Launches it. The offensive rebound. Here's Filipowski. Second chance effort. Count it. And now an 8-point Jazz lead.
You have to appreciate the doggedness and intensity on the glass. Wow.
Oh, a nice shot by Collins.
Well, for a big man, his stroke is just beautiful, and because of the height, it's so hard to challenge.
Here's Juzang, defended by Jones. Clarkson for three. Sends it home from three-point land. Clarkson's got 6 points in the quarter.
Man, this is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
Here's Herter. And count that. 2 points and a chance for one more at the line.
Man, what focus. I mean, the hoop and the harm. Incredible.
Chicago shooting their first foul shot of the night. In transition, here come the Jazz. Clarkson passes to Collins. Alley-oop up top, hammer it home.
Throw it anywhere near Collins, he'll take care of the rest, putting his athleticism and length to perfect use.
Utah leading by 8. Here's Filipowski. He's got 5. Out left to the wing. Takes the 3. Chicago with a rebound. Here's Ball, and he's going for the lob! And so it's the Utah Jazz, finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead. They've been lights out from deep, and it's a big reason why they have a lead in this one. Back after this.
Please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drum roll, please. They're measuring up the shot.
And we played through the first half. Plenty of basketball left in this one. Well, despite the effort to create super teams, the league has a lot of parity right now, Grant.
It really does, and I like it. It's not quite like the 80s Celtics and Lakers or the 90s Bulls, partly because of the salary cap. It's so hard to pay more than 2, maybe 3 stars at a time.
George and Sexton in the backcourt. Walker Kessler out there with Lauri Markkanen. And it's Hendricks in at the 3 spot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. The 3 from Sexton. It's hauled in by White. Bulls trail by 8. Here's Buzelis. Rebounded by the Jazz. Kessler's got his 4th rebound in this one. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Oh, wow. Drew the contact, and that 3 almost went in. So he'll go to the line for 3 free throws. Ayo Dosunmu picks one up. Well, Doris, the 7-footer from Finland, Lauri Markkanen. What makes him so tough to stop?
Well, the size you mentioned, 7 foot. The sweet shooting that he provides. He's got tremendous range and accuracy from three-point territory. Can put it on the deck, is willing to mix it up on the glass. There's a lot to like.
Utah leading by 11. With the fadeaway. And it's cleared by Vucevic.
Not himself from range right now, but the only way out of this funk is to keep trying.
The Bulls with another miss. Utah has gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the 3rd. Three-pointer, Buzelis fires in the triple. Buzelis has got 17.
And that's a promising shot through Buzelis.
Stolen by Giddey. And now the Bulls in transition. 90 seconds into the second half now. Three-pointer, Buzelis. Another 3 for Chicago.
Ooh, he's been hot from out there, helping to keep them in this game.
And you don't need to tell him that. He's used the three-point shot as his primary weapon today.
Markkanen for 3. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist. He's got 11.
It's clear there's a lot of pride on the line in this one.
Absolutely. When someone makes a shot, the first thought is, I want my own back.
Pass to White. Here's Buzelis. It's guarded by Markkanen. Shot clock at 6. The shot by Buzelis no good.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
The floater. Oh, Markkanen good in the paint.
Well, given Markkanen is 7 feet tall, feeding him on the interior was probably a good decision. That's a nice touch by the big man.
Three-pointer, Buzelis. Kessler with a rebound. Utah leading by 10. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. The Bulls have gotten just 25% of their shots to fall since the half. 2 for 8.
I like the aggressive approach. He's going to have to be more efficient.
Pass to Markkanen. This one for 3. Offensive board. Kessler. Markkanen against White. The steal. It's a one-on-one situation. Three-pointer, Buzelis on target from range. Buzelis has got 9 points now in the second half.
Yeah, nice job by Buzelis connecting from the corner. The defense has to at least honor his three-point shot.
Markkanen with a screen on Vucevic. Kessler finds Markkanen. Back to Kessler. George outside. Just 2 to shoot. He shoots it. Another miss by Markkanen. The Bulls trail by 7. From 10 feet away, and he hits the jumper. Markkanen's got 10 points in the quarter.
Boy, how about the jumper? That is pure from the 7-footer Markkanen.
Three-pointer, Buzelis. Rebounded by the Jazz.
And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
Markkanen, the pass to Kessler. Back to Markkanen. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Markkanen's got 17.
You're not going to get stops against him unless you give an effort.
We've got 33 seconds left in the third. Here's Buzelis. It's rebounded by Hendricks. Hendricks has got 4 rebounds now. Here's Markkanen. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Very difficult to contest and cover a guy that's 7 feet and skilled as Markkanen is. Defense makes every effort, but he just turns it into a foul call. Boy, a really soft touch on display. It is a luxury to have a big man who can hit from the line at a consistent rate.
And he lobs it up. And he lays in the alley-oop pass.
Now that's a textbook alley-oop.
I thought he'd go for the slam, but that worked. Markkanen looking it over. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And from the 2-guard spot, an unselfish play like this sets a fantastic tone.
Well, having multiple playmakers on the floor makes you a much tougher team to defend.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. On the court for Chicago, Williams is out there with Kevin Huerter. Then it's Ball, then it's Trey Jones, and it's Collins in at the 5. Bulls trail by 11. Ball outside. Launches a 3. The rebound by Potter. Ball's gone, just 1 of 5 from the floor. Pass to Filipowski.
You have to be kidding me.
Wow, that's how you take things into your own hands. Chicago shooting just 38%. Their offense not where they want to be. Clarkson against Ball. Back to Collins. And the Jazz pushing it up now. Here's Potter. Three-pointer in transition. Potter's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for Utah.
Well, their D has been a major story tonight. I mean, those steals and putting pressure on the ball, clogging the passing lanes, impressive.
They've also been scoring on the break. With how difficult it is to get buckets in the half court, anytime you can push the ball in transition for easy ones, that's big time.
That's tipped. Filipowski, the pass to Potter. Just 5 on the clock. Second shot opportunity. And the basket is good.
Nice dribble move to get to the hoop for an easy 2.
The Bulls trail by 18. Ball surveys the floor to stop the run. And again, no good by Chicago. Utah has gone 1 of 2 from deep in this quarter. The 3 is up. Chicago grabs the miss. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them. Transition basketball, the most reliable way to generate easy looks.
The very definition of quality transition offense. If it can end at the cup, it's exactly where you want it.
Here we go, 1-on-1. Williams in the post. Fires top of the key. And all around the rim that time before dropping. Jazz leading by 14. Williams into the lane. Here's Potter. Drops in the 3. Potter's got 8 points in the quarter.
Have to show more effort defensively. Everyone knows he can do that from deep.
Well, to me, that's just inexcusable. You start to wonder how much they really want this basketball game.
Fourth quarter keeps moving along. 3 minutes gone by now. Another 3 for Utah.
And we think of Clarkson often as a scorer, but they're making the unselfish pass. Just great work.
Williams from long range. Rebound, Utah. Filipowski's got the glass covered here tonight. That's 11 boards for him. Kicks it out to Clarkson. To the wing on the left. Juzang, that's good.
And they're refusing to take a break, even with a nice lead. They just continue to attack. You have to love it.
And that, to me, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at it.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose and just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Jazz.
Pretty clear who the better team was today. They dominated in just about every phase of this game, Grant.
BA, it's almost hard to think what didn't go well for them. Their plan, their execution, everything was absolutely on point.
And what a huge performance it was for Lauri Markkanen.
It's hard to think of a part of the game where he didn't play a major role. Mentally, physically. I mean, he showed us what he's capable of when he's feeling his best.
Here's Potter. They get it back. And there's the call on Lonzo Ball. That'll be a second foul of the game. So Utah ends up going with a new group.
Substitution on the court.
Now here's Markkanen. Defense right on him. Markkanen sets a screen. 6 to shoot. To the inside. Here's Hendricks. Kicks it to George. From behind the arc. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Here's Buzelis.
And just a great job of getting there first and absorbing the contact.
His first personal. First team foul.
On offense, here's Utah. Earlier, they held a 23-point lead. Markkanen puts the move on, and he lays it in.
Their home crowd has energized them all game. Now they're closing it out.
Well, for all intents and purposes, this game is over. Just a matter of time here.
Here's Buzelis. That one's wide left.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they'd want him to take that again.
And they should, because it's when you start turning down that kind of look that your offense can start to bog down a bit.
Markkanen for 3. Off target. So we see the Jazz taking the W here. We saw 2 different teams tonight.
basketball purist, and Greg, I know you do. One thing you gotta love watching is great ball movement.
Which is something both of these teams take pride in. It's always fun to watch guys be unselfish with the ball and look to make each other better.
So the Nets starting five. Cam Thomas is out there with D'Anthony Melton. Then there's Nicholas Claxton. Then it's Williams. And it's Clowney in a power forward. And so it's the Nets getting on the board first. Markkanen passes to Kessler. Back to Markkanen. From outside the arc. Rebound by Williams. And here's Williams now. He'll bring it up for the Nets. It's a three-point game. The fadeaway. It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. And now Utah, fast break. And George kicks to Markkanen. About 1 minute into the first quarter. On the wing, Markkanen. Just 5 on the clock. Cranes the three-pointer.
How about the shooting stroke from Markkanen, appearing very comfortable pulling the trigger from deep.
Following some ups and downs, Richard, the Brooklyn Nets, and you know this, they're back in rebuild mode.
Yes, unfortunately they are, but fans shouldn't let the word rebuild discourage them. The Nets still have a ton of solid pieces, and it's just a question of making smart moves from here on out.
Now, here is George. Off target from three-point range. Thomas deciding where to go with it. Claxton sets the screen for Thomas. Williams outside. A rebound by the Jazz. Outside, Sexton. Markkanen from outside. It's hauled in by Claxton. The Nets have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. Utah has gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. George passes to Markkanen. And he sinks that one in the back of the rim on the way in. Markkanen's got 5 points so far. Claxton sets the screen for Thomas. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet more set on that screen. Easy call.
Look, guys get away with this all the time, but on this occasion, he got caught.
Now, here's Markkanen. He's got 5. Hits it from three-point range.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Here's Clowney, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
Yeah, you think you got to stop, and it's wasted because of sloppy work on the glass. You literally practice that every day.
Here's Markkanen. He's got 8. No good on the 3. 1:58 left to play in the first quarter.
And what I love about Markkanen, he takes care of the basketball, and that's a result of being patient, playing smart, and just generally getting his points within the flow of the offense.
Shots good by Williams.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Now, here's Markkanen. Puts up a deep 3. The basket good off the assist from Sexton. 11 points in the game.
Once he crosses half court, you need to stay awake because he can drop it from deep.
Pass to Melton. Thomas, a screen on George. Outside for Thomas. 6 to shoot. Baseline jumper. And again, it's Brooklyn converting.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Outside, Markkanen. There's the 3. 44 seconds left here in the opening quarter. The 3. Markkanen missing again. Right there, the defender clearly trying to inhibit a fast break. I think that's a transition take foul. Brooklyn shooting their first free throw of the game right now. Nets have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. There's the triple. And it's hauled in by Lauri Markkanen. The three from George. Markkanen, it's good on the putback.
And remember, at 7 feet tall, Markkanen is tough to keep off the board, solid at tracking down misses on that offensive glass.
Thomas, no luck. And here is Markkanen. Kessler setting the pick for Markkanen. He got it up. What a play. Simply trains it in at the buzzer.
Ringing the bell.
Lauri Markkanen getting it done for Utah. He went on an aerial three-point display, drilling 4 long balls in just the 1 quarter alone. We come back right after this. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Utah?
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
And guys, they've also done a great job generating offense from their defense, forcing turnovers and making the defense pay for those mistakes.
We've got Collier. Filipowski's out there with Collins, and it's Juzang in a 2-guard. That's the group for Utah getting going here in the second.
A big man who does a little bit of everything. Collins' team-first attitude shining through with that terrific pass. The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
Well, Greg, over the last few seasons, one area of consistency for the Jazz has been their rebounding.
Yeah, and they have some size, and they make controlling the boards a focal point. When you're playing Utah, you better be ready to put a body on somebody.
Potter misses. Nets trail by 8, and now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. And it's off from three-point range. An even 3-on-3 break. Here's Collier. That 3 off the mark. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Johnson outside. They get it again. Kicks it out to Johnson. Sharp sets the pick for Johnson. A 3-pointer is right on target. Johnson's got himself on the board with 3 there.
When he gets a quality look like this at the perimeter, he can almost be automatic.
Here's Potter. Another miss by Utah.
And I like the bold move of going right back at him to return the 3, but he just couldn't get it to go.
Johnson with a screen on Collins. Whitehead. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
You give a shooter of his caliber that much time to seam it up? Oh, yeah, you're done.
Pass to Juzang. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Good on the triple.
What are you doing? You can't give a player like him that much space. Come on now.
Outside, Martin puts up a 3. Collins grabs the miss. Utah leading by 5. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, thank you. The Utah Jazz last season became one of the first teams in the league to move their games to broadcast television. It's a gamble, but they just about tripled their reach. With the rapid growth in the region, they have a chance to attract new fans. Kevin, no doubt, other NBA teams are keen to see how this goes.
Oh, David, no question at all. And we thank you for your report. And it's Martin missing. For Utah, they've gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. It's 3 of 9. Where there's a lot of emphasis on three-point shooting, Greg. What's your opinion of that?
Well, Kevin, stretching the D isn't just about how far out they have to defend. It's the distance between that and how far in you have to defend. That's why analytics favors shots at the rim and from distance.
He is in a zone right now. Every 3 he puts up seems to be going down.
Takes it inside. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
Yeah, it's going to take better rim protection than that if they're going to climb out of this hole.
And it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
There's the screen. The three from Johnson.
And defensively, Collins has the strength, mobility, and work ethic to be an impact performer.
Martin for three. The shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
There was a time you could get yelled at for taking a three like that, but now it's a great decision, and it paid off.
Pass to Filipowski. 27 seconds left in the first half. Johnson outside. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. That's a 2 for Martin. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%. Utah's gone an even 50% from three-point range in the second quarter, 4 for 8. Outside Collins. Here's Potter. No good with the triple. Got it up. No good on the last second attempt there. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Jazz lead by 2. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
And get ready for the fan half-court shot. Give me a beat. They're thinking about the shot.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Lauri Markkanen having a dominant impact in this game.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
If they don't change their approach in the second half, let's just say his success will continue.
And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. We've got Cam Thomas. He's out there with DeAnthony Melton. Nicholas Claxton out there with Williams. And it's Clowney in at the 4.
And Markkanen is showing the aggressiveness you like to see in a guy with his skill set. Somebody who doesn't lack confidence when he shoots the ball. And among NBA bigs, he is known for his ability to deliver at the free throw line.
Thomas, no good.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
You know, the hopes of a super team in Brooklyn did not come to fruition at all, Richard. And you saw it firsthand.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Kevin. Yes, I had a front row view to it. And look, from a fan's perspective, it's a tough take. The team brings in some of the biggest stars this league has ever seen. You are thinking championship, and you never got close.
Markkanen can't get it to go.
And he might have thrown himself off when he saw how much space he had from 3.
Melton against Sexton. Thomas passes to Claxton. Stolen by Markkanen. Out to the right wing. Here's Hendricks. Scoreless thus far. From downtown. Misses the one-handed jam. Nets trail by 5. Nice catch and finish on the alley-oop.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And all of a sudden, that man was just on the other end. Wow.
Here's Markkanen. The Jazz with another miss.
Whatever rhythm he had last quarter, it has left his body. He is having a hard time finding buckets.
Thomas, no luck. Jazz leading by 3. There's the lob to Markkanen. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And staying aggressive on offense. Markkanen's always looking to score the basketball. This guy has really become a refined scorer.
Thomas, good.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Yeah, as soon as these guys feel contact, they are just disappearing like they're not even there. You got to show some fire and keep defending.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Melton.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to maybe even get the steal, but I agree. He still got a good outcome.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. 6 on the shot clock. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs it right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. You know, Greg, thinking back to the glory days in Utah, they went to back-to-back finals in 97 and 98.
Unfortunately, though, Kevin, that Stockton-Malone era, they just couldn't overcome the dynastic Bulls. The Jazz still searching for that first NBA title.
Utah leading by 5. Here's Juzang. Rebounded by the Nets. Sharp's got 9 rebounds now tonight. There's Whitehead. Busts the J after the cagey pass fake. Whitehead's got 11. For Utah, they've gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. From deep, Johnson. The rebound by the Jazz. They've led by as many as 11 points. Drives to the hoop, and there's another turnover by the Jazz.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And Utah making a change here. Williams is checked in. There's 1:26 left in the third. Johnson surveying the floor. Sharp, the pass to Johnson. Shot clock at 5. Tries again. Filipowski grabs the board.
No clue how he misfired on that shot. You don't see that from him very often.
It's stolen by Johnson. It's Martin on the wing. Looking for Sharp, and he gets it there. Whitehead. He nails it, and we're tied up. Whitehead's got 5 points now this quarter.
You can't lose a shooter like him on the court. The ball will find its way to him, and he will drill a 3 each time.
Here's Filipowski. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Johnson, the pass to Sharp. 24 seconds left to play in the third. Johnson outside. Over Collins. They get the rebound. Sharp, the pass to Whitehead. For the lead. That shot off the mark. Williams from outside. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. Lauri Markkanen getting it done for the Utah Jazz. And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Brooklyn trailing. Collins is out there with Williams. Then it's Collier. Then there's Filipowski. And it's Juzang in at the shooting guard position. That's the group right now for Utah. Utah shooting for the game at 42%. Pass to Filipowski. Sharp against Williams. Here's Filipowski. Just 3 to shoot. The rebound by Sharp. Sharp's got 13 rebounds in the game. Seeded. Whitehead deciding where to go with it. No luck that time in the shot that would have put them on top. Stolen away. To take the lead. Buries the long-range jumper. Whitehead's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Brooklyn. And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for the Nets.
Great heads-up defensive play tonight, creating offensive opportunities for themselves by forcing deflections.
And another thing, guys, they've dominated on fast breaks tonight, outrunning their opponent the entire game.
Sharp sets the pick for Johnson. And the Nets, another 3.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
Juzang passes to Filipowski. Pass to Juzang. Clock at 6. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. The Nets with the lead. Here's Whitehead. His three-pointer's off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Well, as we move into the fourth, it's been an even game.
Guys, teams have exchanged the lead 5 times thus far.
Johnson outside. Nailed from three-point land. And the Nets lead by 2.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
And you see this so much more nowadays in the NBA. Teams putting a larger emphasis on jacking up threes.
Here's Whitehead. Rebound, Utah.
I think the defender really affected that shot.
Williams with a clean look. Knocks down the 3-ball. Williams has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for Brooklyn. Sharp sets the pick for Johnson. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good. Here's Collier with the drive.
Just the kind of play they need in a game this close.
You know, that's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
No doubt. That's the kind of play that can energize the whole team, and they will take it in a close game like this.
And now here comes Williams leading the break. Johnson wide open. He fires. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Williams.
And it took him a little while, but he's really got that 3 working now. This has been a different quarter for him.
No good that time. Brooklyn's got 8 shots off from three-point land and hit half of them. Williams for 3. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
Well, and this has been their strategy throughout the fourth period. We'll see how it pans out.
I think when you've got it going from three-point range, you've got to keep it going. It's a good way to kind of pile up the points quickly.
Here's Clowney. A three-pointer off the mark. Jazz trail by 3. Outside, Sexton. And the 3-ball is good. Sexton's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Thomas against Sexton. Right side, Thomas. And out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession.
Oh no, that was a huge turnover. That cannot happen at this point in the game.
And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. Coach clearly feeling the necessity to regroup with so much at stake here. And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, listened in with what Jordi Fernandez was telling the team. Coach was really hyping up his guys. He told them, this is what it's all about, fellas. You're in this spot for a reason. Go out and take this win. See if they can follow those instructions, guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Launches a 3. Gets the 3 to fall.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
What a huge play coming through when it matters most.
Duncan in a screen on Johnson. There's the triple. Rebound by Johnson.
And maybe, you know, he thinks he can shoot himself out of the cold spell, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe somebody want to tell him to ease up off the threes.
To the wing right side. Here's Clowney. It falls!
And they do have a foul to give.
There's 18 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Outside, Markkanen. Here's Collier. He's guarded by Johnson. Kicks it out to Markkanen. The 3. He's off from 3. And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic